Yeah.
What?
Let me know. Balls.
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 We're good.
All right. Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. Got a card in?
Yeah, it won't let you hit record if there's no card.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I have been, knock on wood, screwed this up really in a while. So
Nice. We appreciate that.
yeah, I know someday if we do this long enough, we're gonna have one episode where we're just looking like it didn't record. Like,
Well, it did happen when we did the no guest episode.
oh yeah.
But we can't find that one either. 20 minutes? It was 20 minutes of us talking. It wasn't the whole thing. Yeah. But, all right. Everybody good? Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are recording here at Charlie's Tavern in the heart of beautiful downtown Grays Lake, Illinois. My name is Evan Rafferty. Sitting here with me, as always, is Jay Clancy and Patrick Whistler. And boys and girls, this is the 1,
2,
3,
4 Shots podcast.
And today we have a very special guest. We got our boy Nader Kardoush. Got it right. I was nervous about that. Owner, operator, proprietor of Beer Bazaar in the heart of downtown Grays Lake, Illinois. And today we are drinking, I'll let you explain it.
So we're drinking a New Riff Barrel Pick. So it's all the liquid from this bottle is unique to one barrel only. We made the pick with my brother over at Oak Trail Spirits. So yeah, it's a high rye bourbon.
Very cool, very cool. And ladies and gentlemen, this is time for shot number 1. Hey. Cheers. Ooh. It's got a little pepper at the back. That's fucking delicious. Very, very good.
Yeah, they've been putting out some really good liquid.
Yeah. That went out smooth, and then like all of a sudden you got that pepper and that heat in the back end.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Very good. So you and your brother, again, you're from Beer Bazaar, downtown Grays Lake, Illinois. Your brother Omar's got Oak Trail Spirits and then Oak Trail Tap over in Mundelein, right?
Correct, yes.
And where'd you guys pick the barrel from? Did you guys go down to Kentucky somewhere? Or did you do it up here? Or?
Yeah, we picked it out of New Riff in Kentucky. We went down there for like a extended weekend.
Very cool. And like, did you go around and like taste different barrels, or were you kind of just like assigned one, or?
So the process is pretty cool. We've done a few barrel picks now. So they gave us a little tour of the distillery, kind of showed us around, and then we get to like a kind of little tasting room they set up, and then they pick like 8 unique barrels for us to taste, and then we kind of just like pick our favorite. And what usually ends up happening is there's always like 2 that we're always torn between.
Yeah. But yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
And then you guys sell this, I imagine, right? Like,
yeah.
So this is kind of like your brand of bourbon, your barrel, selling it out of your stores.
Yeah.
Very cool. How much does a bottle like that go for?
That one's $60.
Not bad. Right in that mid level. Very cool. All right. So go ahead, tell the people a little something about yourself. Who you are, where you're at, little history of the Beer Bazaar and everything like that. Just kind of start from the beginning. Like you were saying earlier, it was originally like a liquor store called something else.
Yeah, so back in 2011, it was a liquor store called Tap Out. It wasn't doing well. It was we were located over on Haynesville Road and 120, right before it splits off to 134. And just the location was just not the best. Really difficult, like getting in there. Very limited with parking spots as well. So we needed to do something that really stood out. So my brother and I had the idea of rebranding to Beer Bazaar. At the time, the craft beer buzz was picking up, and we would go to different breweries, and it was kind of a passion of ours. So.
Did you guys buy like the liquor shop in like 2011 or?
Yeah, my dad did. So it's all part of the family business.
Yeah, very cool. And then you guys do the rebranding in 2014, is that what you said?
Yes, 2014.
2014, very cool. And then like, what was your like experience with like craft beer before? Were you just like an enthusiast? Did you ever do like any home brewing or anything like that?
We did some home brewing, but it never turned out well.
It never does, unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't know what we were doing.
Speaking of which, what did you make here? What are we drinking?
Oh, it's a sour Belgian farmhouse ale. It's a Brett beer made with wild yeast.
That's fucking really good, man. That's like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
nice
good.
and light. I think this one's actually like 3%.
Oh wow.
Almost got like a little champagne-y taste to it.
Yeah.
Very good. Brush that out on the patio. Okay, so you and your brother and everybody are just like kind of beer enthusiasts. Decide to get into that niche where you're catering to that like clientele.
Yeah.
Did you find that helped you? Because I mean, like that was like very popping right then, like that little.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there wasn't many stores like ours at the time. I mean, at the time, I think there was only Art of Beer, and rest in peace, they're a legend. Yeah, so it really got us to stand out and really brought people in when craft beer was really booming or starting to boom.
And then you guys had taps and everything going there too, like.
Not right off the bat. Right off the bat, we were just straight beer focused store. We had a lot of imports. We had a lot of locals. And a lot of big national brands as well.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until we were a few years in that we started getting taps, and we started off with 6, and it was cool, but it definitely was more of like we had customers come in, sip while they're shopping. It wasn't quite the tap room space we have in
Right.
Grace Lake. So
Definitely more of a taster than like an actual tap room.
yeah.
Right. Okay, and then so what year do you guys end up moving over to your current spot? That's it. I mean, you just had your 1 year anniversary, right?
Yeah. Last Friday was our 1 year anniversary and belated grand opening. So yeah, it's been a year.
And were you guys like when you were moving? Was it like a clean break? Like one day you're at this spot, one day you're at the next, or did you have like time in between?
We had time in between. So we had about, I want to say, 2 months before we moved. We opened up in Grace Lake.
Yeah.
So
did you have any like problems? Like were you losing like product on that or anything like that?
Luckily it was smooth enough. I mean, yeah, there was definitely product we had to throw out because we were just like, we can't really, sit on this too much longer.
And then when you guys open up over here, what was the spot originally before you guys moved in there?
Oh, it was a women's clinic.
Like a doctor's office type place?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys had to do a full build out on it and everything.
Full demo, full build out.
You guys running into any problems with that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of it was so new to us, so there was just a lot of issues we bumped into.
How was your like timeline? Like, were you guys on time or you?
Oh God, no.
It just I don't understand that. Like when you're doing like projects like that, when the contractor comes to you and is like, 6 months. Like in my head, I'm like, why don't you just say a year, man? Like it's gonna be a year.
Yeah. It was 4 years.
Oh shit! Did it really take that long?
Yeah, because I think my brother bought the building back in 2018. And then it took us 4 years to finally get everything open. Like I said, we just hit
So you got shut down in the middle of it for COVID and everything then too,
right? We were actually allowed to stay open. We just had to shut our taps down. They weren't really moving anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But our like to-go sales just skyrocketed.
Oh yeah. Every liquor store hit on that one. Yeah. Very cool. And so now you got the new place up and running. Kind of explain it to everybody like what do you got there? Like.
So yeah, like so it's a bottle shop on one side, and on the left, if you walk in on the left side, it's a bottle shop, which just is a fancy name for like a store that's focused on beer. We have everything pretty much singled out by bottle or can for the most part, so it's really cool. It promotes people building their own 6-packs, trying something, and then people really dig it because like if they end up not liking the beer, they're not stuck with like four more cans or. And then on the right side, we have like a full-on tap room, 20 taps. And one thing I'd like to note about the bar is we actually were able to get reclaimed wood from the gelatin factory in Grays Lake, so it has a nice little allure to it.
The gelatin factory.
Oh man,
Like, don't look at me like I don't know about Patrick. Do you know about this?
there's
shit?
an original can of the gelatin behind that Founder's green zebra sign right there. I'll show you after. But the Grays Lake Gelatin Factory was like the big, like, if you were in this town 100 years ago, your dad worked there or you worked there. Like, that was the
Like
industry.
like they made Jello, like
Gelatin.
Jello.
No, not Jello brand.
Oh,
It's like the powdered.
You can still see the
Powdered
smokestack.
connective tissue.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
They turned that smokestack where that's still standing, but the area where it used to be is now a park right
Oh,
over there,
shit.
kind of next to Central Park. Yeah.
How'd you guys get the wood from there? How about,
We got the hookup through Carpentry Connection. It was like a local carpenter, and then yeah.
he just had some laying around.
Well, they demoed it not too long ago, right, to make the
Yeah.
park.
Okay.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
timing lined up there. Yeah,
It was just perfect. Things just line up perfectly.
Yeah.
Very cool.
yeah, that's really cool though.
Yeah.
That's awesome timing and awesome. Like that's fucking sweet. I mean, that's I think I'd heard that before, but I don't know if a lot of people around know that. You know, that's
Yeah, I definitely need to like put a plaque up or something, advertise that, because every time I tell someone, they're just like, "Whoa."
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
That's cool
definitely part of
history, man.
history.
Yeah.
So like your taps that you have on, like, are you going like 20? Are they all like kind of rare beers? You just going 6 barrels of stuff, or do you throw any like flagships up there?
I definitely throw flagships. Like, I like to personally curate it. I like to keep some sort of like, order to it. Like, but I definitely do have some rare beers on, and try to like keep those on to like attract people. I want to put stuff that people will not be able to find anywhere else, kind of
Yeah.
on. But also support a lot of locals too.
Yeah.
So.
I was gonna say, with like your bottle stuff, like do you come across like super rare brands, and do you do like raffles for stuff like that, or?
Yeah, for the longest time, we're not on there right now. We kind of took a break, but for like super limited stuff, we started utilizing Osner, which is just like this online app where you can just like enter lotteries or purchase beers online. So like each storefront could like put whatever they want on there. So like whenever we'd get a rare beer, we just throw it on there. Yeah, and people would just enter to win, and then it would charge their accounts if they won.
Very cool. And then you're also doing the Grays Lake Beer Fest too, right?
Yeah, I'm helping the chamber with brewery recruitment. I think we have like up to 35 confirmed right now.
Oh, nice. That's pretty big. That's pretty good. When is the Grays Lake one?
It's September 16th,
What time?
noon to 5. Oh, well, actually, 1 to 5, noon for VIP.
Patrick, you gonna work that with me for Fins?
Oh, the beer fest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason's looking for people. You gonna
Yeah.
be, you gonna be over there?
Yeah.
I'll probably be at Light the Lamp, but I don't
Like
think I'll
at
be-
the store, or
That's how I've done it the last couple of years. But
well, that kind of stuff. Where do they do it? Actually, I've never been to this one.
isn't it right
I
back
think
here?
it's right back. Yeah.
Oh, in the parking lot behind here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
ooh, maybe we'll do a little. You should get off. We'll do a little
Yeah.
patio podcast. That
Yeah, that's
afternoon.
fine. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Like we'll do it right afterwards. Like get hammered during the fest, and then do it, and then like 7:00 we'll post up back there.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Little
Couple-
head start, a 3-hour beer festival.
Yeah,
A
right.
couple cigars on the patio.
There you go.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Ooh.
College football be going on. We can make some
Mhm.
bets.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
I
date.
don't do bets.
Okay. I bet you.
Yeah.
I'll get you to place a bet.
No, don't
I
get me
bet
into
you
that
I will.
shit.
All right.
It's hard enough not lighting money on fire without actually just lighting money on fire. You know?
Yeah.
How's everybody's weekend?
Pretty good.
Anything exciting?
No.
Got to witness a brawl out front of here, but I wasn't working.
Oh, not exciting.
Yeah, that was kind of exciting.
There you go.
It was. I mean, it's what you'd expect. 10 dudes on one side, 10 dudes on the other side. About 8 women in the middle screaming for everybody to stop, and then just they kind of like sort of square dance style started fighting, and then like changed partners, and there was just a lot of one guy punching another guy. Guy lost his shoe.
Kind of like beat it.
Yeah.
That was a great way to describe a fight. Like, that. Just a massive brawl, just the four dudes bouncing around in a circle.
Yep.
Holding hands for some reason.
And
With
then,
their enemies.
right, and then we're all out there watching it, trying to describe to like the cops, like, well, Red Pants did this, and they're like, who the fuck is Red Pants? Well, he's the guy wearing red pants, you know, like, and that guy's gone, you know, he took off. Yeah, it was fun.
You said you called the cops on him?
I called non-emergency, but I was like the third person too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't do it right away. At first I was like, yeah, then I was like, oh yeah, that kid's getting his ass kicked like on the center line in the middle of the street, you know. And I'm worried about somebody else leaving the bar. It's right after bars close, and not seeing that coming around the corner, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if any tickets were handed out or anything. They just kind of came and broke it up, told everybody to fuck off, and yeah, that was the big excitement that I got to see. How about you?
Pretty busy, but calm. You know, nothing too
always good.
excited. A couple kids cussed out an older lady and had to kick them out.
Yeah.
No manners, you know.
Yeah.
But
What'd she do?
she bumped into him while she was walking by him, and the guy said, "Say fucking excuse me, bitch."
Yeah.
To an old lady?
Yeah.
That's so
automatically
sick.
She
lose
was,
an
like,
interaction.
old. She was like, 50, maybe 60, you know, like. But yeah, and this kid was like probably 24.
Yeah. You guys had your big ribbon cutting on Friday?
Yeah, the chamber was
shit,
over.
that was this past Friday?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was this-
congratulations! Yeah,
Thank you.
I
Thank
thought it
you.
was a week.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We had a belated grand opening since we never had one. Everything's delayed with us.
It's everybody in this town, man. That's just how it's always. Yeah.
No, that was really cool though. I saw like the pictures on Facebook and stuff. You had the whole like town, like the trustees and everybody down there.
Yeah, they came out and supported. It was awesome. We were able to get approval for outdoor consumption and seating, so that was really cool and
Sweet.
really came in handy.
Yeah,
Drinking in the streets. All right.
that's always nice. But
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, good for you guys. That's cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh man, did I tell you like 2 weeks ago? This is kind of out of nowhere, but we had a surprise party, like in our party room for somebody, and it was like a really big like birthday surprise party. There was probably like 100 people or something in there, and the people just kept going in, like, we're here for the party, and I kept going back there, and I'm like, what kind of party is this? And then like I saw on the party sheet, it said like surprise party, and all of a sudden like I see a couple looking around. They're like, "Where are our friends? Where are our friends?" You know, and they're dressed up nice. And I got up to like be like, "Hey, are you guys here for the surprise party?" And as I got up, the husband was like, "Oh, it's like right over here. I see them. They're down here." And he like drags her in there, and so I like kind of stop. I don't go up to him, and all of a sudden they all go, "Surprise!"
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
for the girl. I almost fucking ruined her 40th birthday.
I had a very
Surprise parties are pretty risky. I feel like it's a lot to do in that, like, really, probably they know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's your birthday at 4 p.m. Let's drive to Mickey Finn's for no fucking reason. You
Yeah.
know, like, you know.
well, it was probably like we'll meet this other couple out or these other two couples. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's a way to sort of disguise that, but I get what you're saying too, where it's like,
Yeah, it's my 40th birthday, and we're just walking into the ballroom at Mickey Finn's for no
Pretty
reason.
There's a fucking great episode of King of Queens where it's like the old man, like Jerry Stiller's birthday or whatever, and he finds out they're throwing him a surprise party, and she's like, "All right, but you got to act surprised." He's like, "Don't worry, I know how to fake a heart attack." And she's like, "Yeah, I remember my wedding day."
yeah.
Oh shit. All right, so I wanted to actually get back to the bottle here. So, how often do you guys do that? Like with going and picking the barrel? Do you guys do that every year for for your shops?
Yeah, sometimes a couple times a year. Yeah, I don't always go on the trips. You know, I go when I can. But it's always a great experience.
Yeah. So you guys kind of have like do you keep a bottle every year and have like a lineup at home? Just
Yeah. I actually have one of each of the picks. I think I'm missing a couple, but for the most part, I got most of them, with exception of like some of the early ones that we already drank through.
Yeah. And where in Kentucky are you going down for that?
I believe this one's Newport. It's like right across the city or across the river from Cincinnati.
Okay, so just right on that north side there. Very cool. We should do that. Go
Fuck
down
yeah.
and do a little fucking bourbon cruise.
I like bourbon.
It's always a good time.
Yeah. Little Kentucky Derby action.
Okay.
You bet on horses?
No,
Okay. That's
I
pretty
bet
good.
on me.
Yeah.
I bet on me to succeed. And I lose.
All right. So let's go on to the beer fest. Is this your first year doing the beer fest?
Yeah, this is my first time helping out.
Okay.
We-
Yep. Keep going.
Oh, I was like, we did do a beer fest back in 2015 for our 1-year anniversary in the old location. It was out in that like park right by the ballpark and on Haynesville Road.
Yeah.
But that's been my only experience with it. But over the 9 years, I've just made a lot of contacts in the beer industry, so it was kind of really easy just to reach out and be like, "Hey, do you want to pour on September 16th?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did the town come to you about it, or did you go to them, or?
I reached out to the chamber.
Very
and,
cool.
And they were like, "Yeah, happy to have you."
When you put that one on in 2015, like how big of a beer fest was that?
Oh, that was tiny. I think it was called like something along the lines of like the marvelously small and intimate beer fest, and it was like we didn't even. I think it was like I'd be surprised if it was more than 500 people, probably less.
More 500 or more or less than 500 people going there?
Yeah.
How many breweries do you have?
It was 30.
30?
No,
Did you run into like any obstacles putting that all together? Or did you get like any slack from the towns or anything like that?
No. I mean, there was one. So I think like the day accidentally got double booked. So like there was actually a game at the ballpark. So like we were having this big beer fest right by like all these like there's like a game going on.
Like a T-ball game or something?
Yeah. So all these parents were looking over like, "Oh man, I'd rather be over there."
Yeah, right.
Just being judged by like every mom and every husband being like,
Where'd Coach go? Yeah.
I'm gonna go give these guys a piece of my mind real quick.
Yeah.
Like, damn, how much
You're
is
just
this?
triple fisting samples.
I can get a tray of all these together. So, like, have you gone to a lot of beer fests and stuff like that? Is that something you still do, or?
I do, yeah. From time to time, I've definitely slowed down. Been trying to cut drinking to an extent, but
Right. You're on the right podcast for that.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Yeah. This is actually secretly a health and fitness podcast.
We get you hammered, and then we give you basically like.
do some workouts.
Yeah, you get so drunk you have to walk home.
Have you ever heard of
and then it's
Tybo?
Exercise. Yeah.
What is it? When you jump in front of somebody before they go to like rehab or whatever.
An intervention?
Yeah. We get you hammered, and then we do an intervention right afterwards.
Great.
We sell both parts to A&E, and they pay us for it.
Yeah.
But, oh shit! All right, I think that's gonna be the end of segment number 1, which means it's time for shot number 2. This stuff's really fucking good, man.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Intense.
Cheers.
Salute,
Cheers.
dude. 4 shots. Like we should hook up with them and get a 4 shots barrel.
Flavored
that.
toothpaste.
Fennel flavored
What?
toothpaste. That's the grossest
That's-
fucking shit in the world. What the fuck?
That's too far,
I
man.
can't
Is there like a scientific reason? Because like the flavor reason is like before you go to bed.
I don't like
here, I'm just
mint.
gonna fucking put fennel up in my mouth. Like what the?
I don't like mint toothpaste because it fucks with how everything tastes for like hours. I can't like drink milk or coffee or orange juice because they just taste like asshole after you brush with Crest.
The orange
So-
juice thing is fucking terrible.
Oh my gosh, it's the worst. But instead of fennel, I've settled on cinnamon toothpaste.
Okay.
So
Oh,
it's
look at
still
Bryce, just see the
zesty.
Snickerdoodle cookies.
It's still zesty, you know, but it's not minty.
Yeah.
man.
Fuck with that.
Yeah.
I'll be down with that. Some Snickerdoodle toothpaste. All right, little pre-gamer here.
And they don't make a ton of good toothpaste flavors for adults, right? Like you're a little kid, you get the bubblegum shit. You know?
Yeah. This
Probably
tastes
has
like
sugar in
bubble
it.
gum. It's blue and has glitter in it.
You go to Jay's house, he's just got like the dinosaur squeeze bottle,
Yeah.
with, like the bubble gum.
Right.
He's got the Barbie toothpaste that's like pink and white stripes.
It's got like 15 grams of sugar, and they're like, nobody with their permanent teeth is using
Yeah.
this. It doesn't matter.
Don't worry. Anything this is gonna rot's gonna fall out.
Yeah. It's actually Blue's Clues toothpaste is what I use. You remember that?
Like I know you're supposed to use Rise for Manhattan, but this would be really good in a Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah, spicy.
That spice with a little sweet and then like the bitter, that'd be really good.
It is a high rye, so yeah, definitely.
It is what?
So it's a high rye bourbon, so it has like a high
Oh, okay.
amount of rye
Rye, yeah.
malt in
See,
it.
I sort of know what I'm talking
Green.
about.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Nice job, man. Back to the children's toothpaste.
let's get it started.
Sorry.
We'll go on
No,
there.
I'm just
All right.
You're
Ladies and
right, I don't
gentlemen,
have
we are
anything
back here with Nader Kardoush. I almost fucked that up. From Beer Bazaar in Grays Lake, Illinois. Thank you again for coming on and hanging out with us here. Thanks for bringing the bottle, man. This shit's really
delicious.
Yeah.
good.
Glad you like it.
So back to the Barbie toothpaste.
No, we were just discussing. I don't have anything.
I mean, all that stuff's gonna get left in. Anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
No, I use whitening toothpaste because I like coffee and cigarettes and other things that are bad for my teeth.
Mm.
It doesn't cancel out and give me white teeth, but it's better than the alternative.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have a special prescription toothpaste because I used whitening for years and it just eroded my enamel.
Oh shit! Fuck. Well, thank you for the warning.
Wait, does yours come in little tiny tubes?
It's like a little.
Is it called Recaldent?
I don't know, but it's like I picked it up from the pharmacy.
Does it say contains milk on the label?
I don't.
I think I've used this stuff.
I'll go and look when I get home.
It says warning contains milk, and it's like
If only my toothpaste were milkier.
it's like a super high calcium, super high
Fluoride.
Yeah, and it's white with a red cap.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like it's just white, and then when it's actually kind of like a blue paste.
Oh,
Let me ask you guys this question: are you a brush your teeth before coffee or after coffee person?
First thing.
Like you wake up, brush
Yep.
your teeth.
I brush my teeth in the shower, which is usually after coffee, but could be before. But it's always in the shower
You brush your teeth in the shower?
exclusively. Like
Is
if
that- wait,
if
is that
I
a
want to
normal
brush
thing? Do
my
people do
teeth,
that?
I'm gonna take a shower because that's where
Everything's
my
been cleaned.
toothbrush is. That's where my toothbrush
This is the cleaning station.
That's where the toothbrush is. I'm telling you, I thought it was dumb too, and then now it just is like.
Wait till you try it.
Yeah. I don't think it's dumb. I just think it's weird. Like it's very.
Well, first of all, if I brush my teeth and I have a beard and I get toothpaste in my beard, then I'm like full on washing my face after and I'm like, it's like,
Might as well get stoned with two birds, right?
well, yeah, and it's like pooping when you get out of the shower. It's like, no, do everything before the shower and emerge from the shower totally done, including your teeth and your butt.
yeah.
don't you find it weird that you're washing your ass and your mouth at the same time?
He's not
No.
using the same brush.
I hope not.
I would hope. Yeah.
But believe it or not, I only use one towel every time. So
Wait, what do you mean?
face
do you
to
mean?
ass to face. I mean,
Oh.
what does it
Oh,
matter?
well, after you get out of the shower, you're clean,
I mean, try and start at the top, but
Yeah, you always work from the head down.
it's like squeegeeing.
I like that you said try.
Yeah.
Sometimes your balls just really are wet. And You
Yeah.
got to go there first.
Well, sometimes you're done like drying, but then like you're sweaty because the shower didn't take. You know what I'm saying?
It is Illinois in the summer. I mean, you get
Yeah.
out of the shower, dry off, and you're still wet.
Yeah,
What do
it
you mean
was
the shower
uh,
didn't take?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What does that
No,
mean?
it's just Seinfeld because
Oh.
Stanza, he gets out of the shower
Oh.
and he's like sweating through his clothes. He's like, the shower didn't take. And I'm like,
Oh.
that's my life.
You got a cold water. Cold water showers. in
Yeah,
the
but
summer.
see, like if I take a 10-minute hot shower, I need like 20 minutes of cold water to cool down. It's
what
just
do you
it
take
doesn't
10
work
minute
out.
showers for?
I'm the same way.
I have a lot to watch. It's
How long
like
do
a
you
square
shower?
footage. Okay, I have a
Dude,
lot of
I'm
square.
like, if I'm in there for 2 songs, like off my phone, so like what?
How do you finish a beer that fast?
Believe it or not, I've never had a shower beer.
Never.
What?
Ever. You've never had a shower
No,
beer.
I've
Neither
had,
of you?
I've
Next,
had
you're
I've
gonna
had a
tell me
bathtub
you-
scotch. I've had a bathtub
That's
scotch.
okay. So you're talking like you're better than us.
You're gonna tell me you don't even. You're gonna tell me you don't even have a suction cup beer holder in your shower.
I don't have.
Oh, come
Do
on.
they sell those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, there are so many things we should be selling right now.
Yeah.
Mark, someone write that
4
one
shots
down.
branded.
Yeah.
Shower beer holder.
It
beer
suctions to
holder?
the tile. Yeah, it's
Oh my
great.
god, we would fucking sell a million.
It's like a
things.
koozie
You don't have to put it in your
/holder,
shower,
too.
but you probably shouldn't put it in your car.
Yeah, windshield.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. All right.
To answer your question,
Yeah, I forgot
sorry,
where we
man.
even went there.
I eat breakfast, drink coffee, then brush my teeth.
Got to. See, I'm a
So like, get it all through so it doesn't mess with your palate.
yeah. See, I'm the coffee first, then I brush my teeth, and then I jump in the shower. Because then you wash it off your beard.
I don't normally eat breakfast, so that's like
I don't eat breakfast. That coffee's my breakfast.
It's just the coffee and
Half-pack Parliaments.
the coffee versus.
I wake up and take my vitamins, and then I eat a protein bar, and then I drink my coffee, and then I eat a banana every day.
Get your calcium.
Yep.
Very nice. All right. I actually was just thinking about this, like, because I know your brother, his shop over there, they do a lot of like the bourbon stuff. He's gotten like bottles of Pappy, different rare shit, and he's always doing those the raffles and stuff like that. You're strictly beer over at Beer Bazaar, right? Like you don't have any spirits yet, or
No, we do have a spirits. We have like maybe like one section of just spirits. It's like
only
You got
for
this.
only for carry out, like retail though, right? Or,
Right now it's only for carry out. Though the city.
oh yeah, that's right. You were telling me you saw this over there. So
Yeah. So yeah, like we can do pours, but that's something we're gonna start looking into.
Shots,
yeah, you were telling me you're getting a new license or something coming up, right?
Yeah. No, not a new license. It's already factored into our current license. It's just a matter we haven't taken advantage of it yet.
Okay.
So like we wanted to see how it goes with just the beer for the time being, and then like start slowly expanding and adding more. Like we definitely want to try diversifying, and but we'll still have like a limit on how much we can pour, and it'll kind of just be more like high end spirits. They'll just like you'll be able to sip on.
Yeah, so you could come in and try something like this, like
yeah,
out of
exactly.
your bottle.
And then you can like, oh, I really like this. I'll go buy a bottle.
Do you know like a timeline when you're going to start doing that, or
I'm hoping to start within the next month, hopefully.
so like by like September?
Yeah,
this
I think
will
so.
probably come out end of August, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So by when this comes out, like people will be able to go down and try your barrel of bourbon and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. So what I was thinking is like, are you more of like a beer person or a bourbon person? Like do you lean one way or the other?
I'd say definitely a little bit more on the beer side.
Yeah.
But I like my bourbons and I love my rum.
You're a big fan of rum as well?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Definitely sipping rums. I just can't do anything with like fruit or like, coconut or spiced, I like the stuff you can just sit on. And usually what rum will do is they'll put the liquid in used bourbon barrels to age it, and like it's just a fraction of the cost of like getting like bourbon with a similar age statement.
Cool.
Very cool. Yeah. Rum is like underutilized.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I went to a tequila tasting one time.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, and all the rum's upstairs. I was like, oh, but what? I would have started there. Like, what the fuck? There were like 5 or 6 tables set up, and they each had.
And obviously we're talking about like quality stuff.
Yeah.
Not that sugary shit that's gonna fucking give
Nothing
you a
with
hangover.
artificial dyes or like the fake aging bullshit that
But
they
like,
do.
Yeah.
it's weird. Like those those aged like añejo tequilas and like those dark rums and stuff like that. When you start to get to those 7-8 year rums and stuff like that, and bourbon kind of all share those same characteristics. They're just slightly different. Rum's a little bit sweeter, probably a little bit more vanilla. You can still get that vanilla in tequila, but you kind of get that like crispness and a little bit of that citrus in there. And then with the bourbon, it's just heaven in your mouth.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Any kind of whiskey.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of interchange. Do you have a preference like on your style of beer? Are you like a stout person, IPA person?
So when I first started drinking, I was obsessed with stouts, and I couldn't stand IPAs.
Yeah. You were the big like barrel aged BCS, KBS, like
Oh, even before that, it was just like so how I started drinking craft beer is I'd go to Firkin like every Thursday, and then have like
I don't know if we've ever given them a shout out yet. Great fucking bar.
Yes.
Great food.
Yep.
Good people there. And I mean, they spawned off half of downtown Libertyville,
Yeah.
their restaurants and stuff like
Like
that.
their concept, like gastropub type thing, is like seems very common now. But I'll tell you,
It was
20 years ago, it was a extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a great place, but like it was kind of a pioneer in that
Definitely.
exact thing that became almost a cliche with the craft beer and
Yeah.
the $15 cheeseburger and stuff. But like, I used to go there and like
the vinyl. Oh, sorry for hitting your mic. The Vinyl Tuesday thing, I think, actually was from there originally. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
So they used to do it there, and then the dude went to Green Room, and then he came and worked for me for a little bit over at Finn's, and then I think who's doing it with you guys is someone like kind of related to him,
Oh, really?
something like that.
We
I don't
just
know.
bought
The
a
guy
record
who
player
owns
to
the
play
green
vinyl.
room
Well, that's pretty cool.
did it for
What's that?
the guy who owns the green room, right? Did
So
it
he started that. He started over at
at
Firkin.
Finn at Firkins, yeah,
and he started that there.
Yeah, we used to go
Yeah.
and take stuff in. I mean, like whenever summer, like I had a lot of college friends who were like from Chicagoland, but like far enough away that it was like a destination. Like
Yeah.
Lombard, wherever the fuck that is. And
It's the only
like,
place I can get Duchess, and I fucking love that.
yeah, they would come into town, and we'd always go to the Firkin. I remember they released La Trappe Isidore. Isidore, it's like an amber, like a Trappist amber, and it was like the first time you could get it in America ever, and they used to, the beer ball.
Was it like a Flanders red or like?
No, it was like kind of like a something in between a double and a triple, where it was like
Almost a quad or something.
yeah,
like that.
no, it was lighter in alcohol, but a little more amber in color, but just
Okay.
a Belgian flavor profile, and I had like 9 of them.
I believe it's pronounced double.
Yeah. They that's my favorite place of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to make like top 100 bars in the U.S. all the time,
Totally.
and
It's like a miniature local version of Hop Leaf.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And Hop Leaf is like, I mean,
I was just down there 2 weeks ago before that
absolute
Revolution concert.
Chicago destination, like worth going to,
Yeah.
no matter who
You
you
ever been-
are, no matter
you ever
what
been
you
to Hop
like.
Leaf?
No.
Fucking amazing.
Oh, buddy.
It sounds amazing.
He's
That's what I'm picking up
judging
on.
you.
That's fine.
It's crazy. They've got like 3 bars on the first floor.
the
They've got
upstairs.
this upstairs, another upstairs above that, actually, which I've actually eaten dinner on the 3rd floor up there. The 2nd floor has a bar this big for parties. They've got like a dining room that has like a pot-bellied stove and a fireplace. They have a crazy beer garden.
Yeah.
They've got,
Food. Their food's fucking
I think there's
awesome.
4 or 5 different seating areas on the first floor
Yeah,
there.
because like you walk in, they got all that shit. and
They
then
got
back
2
around
bars
the
back to
corner,
back, and then like a little
side bar
arm
right
of the
there.
bar, and then they've got like those diner seats where you can sit and watch the cook.
Yeah.
There's like 6 seats there, and then sit by either bar on either side, and the room and back. Like,
You walk in, they give you the tap list, and it's like 30 beers that you're like, these are all good. And then they're like, oh, yeah, there's another side.
No, fuck, man.
yeah.
I've had the craziest meals of my life there. We went there, and they had like this wood fire grilled octopus appetizer, and it comes out. I mean, it's like 12 legs.
Duck breast
It
Reuben.
was humongous.
So that's an octopus and a half,
Yeah, they have they have the
right?
Bel-
They have 8.
I know exactly. It's incredible, increíble. They I
just
had a
realized
wild
how-
boar
yeah.
dinner there. That was amazing. Wild boar,
Yeah, I bet.
and they have. The
I second guessed
Belgian
myself after I
mussels.
said that, and I was like, no, wait,
Had
is
to-
that 2?
had to do the math.
Is that 2? Did they have Oct 8? Okay. Whew. Then why is it October? Why is that the 10th month? All right, no, Jay, we're good. We're good. It's an octopus and a half.
Oh, shit. All right, well, let's get back to it.
Sorry.
This is supposed to be a
Sorry.
round table.
Sorry for distracting you from your wild boar thing, but that sounded really good.
That was
You should go there. Is the moral.
I
of
will.
The story.
I will.
So going back, you like stouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we're
Yeah,
at.
and then I eventually started getting into IPAs. I think I just had a lot of
Like, what kind of stouts were you drinking? Like, what is What's your favorite? What's your favorite beer?
That is a tough question. At the time when I first started drinking, I mean, I feel like whenever I'd go to Firkin, like we'd see Great Divide Yeti was one of the first.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Blackout Stout from Great Lakes.
Yes.
Like a lot
Awesome
of the OG ones, you know.
Were you like a big left hand, like the milk stout?
Oh yeah.
that was kind of like the first nitro that everyone had.
Absolutely.
I like that better, not nitro, but I don't like nitro in general.
I still love that beer.
Or
That's
Breckenridge
fucking good
Vanilla Porter. That's a classic.
beer. Yeah. I don't
Founders
like,
Yeah,
Breakfast
that
stout,
you could
man.
already buy
I don't like
when I was
those
a
guys
freshman
that,
in
like-
college.
I don't like the Breckenridge.
The vanilla
people.
porter.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Was already at like
Bad Blood and
7-Eleven
Four
in
Columns.
Champaign.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Is it the town or the brewery?
It's
It was definitely one of the common
Breckenridge
ones for
Brewery's from Breckenridge,
Right.
but like they went down to Fort Collins and they built this huge fucking 2-story rooftop like bar and restaurant and shit like that, and just like stole a bunch of employees from all these people, and then like within a year they weren't paying those employees anymore
Oh,
because they were just so fucking douchey kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, you can actually leave all that in because no one likes them out there.
Sure. They were bought up by AB InBev too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, those
See?
fuckers.
Yeah, my first favorite stout was Founders Breakfast Stout when it's fresh.
yes.
Like, but
Remember
you
when they had
notice
the
the difference
remember
a
they
couple
used to have
months
the
out,
baby
right?
on the bottle.
Yeah.
And they had to take that off a couple years back.
Well,
Indiana had to take it off.
yeah, for
Do they
like
still
one
have it in
state.
Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I just saw a breakfast stout. It might have been a
I think
variant.
I think it's gone.
Wait, was it Indiana or Michigan?
I thought it was Ohio, but it could have been any of those states. It could have been all of those states. But they had to, they had to print a special label just because there couldn't be a baby on
It was
something
just like an
selling
empty
alcohol.
bowl and a spoon.
and then
Yeah,
a
I
note on the
remember.
fridge, right?
Yeah,
That's what it was. Yeah.
My first dark beer, and man, maybe one of my first craft beers was Okochum Porter. Do you know Okochum Porter? It's a Polish Baltic porter.
Okay.
It's like
You
a
don't know that
9.
one?
Yeah.
It's like a 9.
How have you not heard of it? Okay, they only put out 3
it was
barrels a
just
year.
something we could get at the liquor store, and when I was
that's funny.
underage, I just like walked through, and I was like, you know, and
That's
then
the person
I
you
sent my
grabbed,
friend in, and I'm like, grab that beer with the goat on it.
Yeah, there you go.
You buy beer how I buy wine now.
Yeah. I actually got I had my buddy buy me a mixed 12-pack before I was 21, and it ended up being Smutty Nose, and their robust porter was fucking. I don't know if Smutty Nose is around anymore, if it distributes. I haven't seen Smutty Nose in a while.
I
But
think they pulled from the market for
yeah,
sure.
but their robust porter was so
Are they
fucking
from,
good.
like, Nantucket or something?
They're like East Coast.
Yeah,
for
thought
sure.
it was New Hampshire.
Yeah,
or-
New Hampshire.
Yeah,
There was a
Pretty
lot
much,
of
yeah.
there was a
Nantucket,
lot of
yeah.
East Coast stuff when I first started buying craft beer. There was lots of
right.
Heavy Seas.
Heavy Seas.
Heavy Seas.
Mm.
No, you don't remember. We had a liquor store called Friar Tuck in Champaign. Oh, I talked about this in the
Yeah.
last episode,
Yeah.
but
I
you know,
just
I'd
remember,
always
like-
buy a new 6-pack and then an Avery Bomber
Nice.
every Friday because I had like a class that was like 15 miles away from campus, like in a farm field somewhere, you know. So I was out
remember-
by the liquor store.
I just remember like when like like Sierra Nevada, you're like, oh, it's not
Yeah.
Busch Light or something like that. And you're like, oh, there's different beer out there. Like that was
Yeah.
always like the first
I
one.
remember thinking like Sam Adams was like the shit when I was a
Yeah.
kid because I was like, that's what my dad drinks when he wants a fancy beer. It's a Boston Lager.
And then
That's
someone-
got to be the good shit.
And then
Or
someone
Fat
gave me,
Tire.
Yeah, or Fat Tire. Yeah.
Someone gave me. I almost wore my Fat Tire shirt today.
Yeah.
It's like 25 years old. I still got it.
There's so
But I remember like someone gave me like a berry, like a Line and Cool's Berry Weiss. And I'm like, oh, it's like a microbrewery, and I drank it. I'm like, oh my god, this is the grossest shit in the world.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I still have a Fat Tire bottle on it that has the unique label from when they first sold it in Chicago. It says like Chicago inaugural
Do
batch.
you know it's not
cool.
like it's different now? It's like a wit beer instead of like the amber.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
thought
I know they
a-
made a lot of
something else
versions.
that was something tire, but it was
Yeah, like Fat Tire's not the amber anymore. It's like,
No
it's like
way.
it's a Belgian wit beer now.
They made
Really?
a bunch of
Yeah,
different
because they
versions
couldn't,
of
like-
it.
yeah,
Huh.
it's fucked up.
that's weird.
I know. Very weird. All right. What's your favorite burp? Like, so what's like the best beer you ever had? Like, doesn't have to be the most expensive, but like, top of the line. Like,
Man, that is really tough.
Are we talking desert island beer? Are we talking you only get to have one beer ever again?
doesn't
Or
have
are
to
we
be a
talking-
desert island because like your favorite beer might not
Yeah.
like last beer before you die, whether you're like in a cold place next to a fire or on the beach watching the sunset, something like that.
Man, I would have to say, just for nostalgia, Almaza Pilsner.
Okay,
Where are they out of?
It's from Lebanon.
cool.
I was originally from overseas, so like,
Are you Middle Eastern?
yeah, I am.
I almost asked you earlier. Like, are you Mexican or Middle Eastern?
I get that a lot.
I'm sorry,
It's
dude.
one or the other.
I was like-
But yeah, so yeah, family's Lebanese and Palestinian. But
Did you
yeah,
grow up out here or out there? Where you,
I was born out there, and then I moved over when I was 12 or 13. So
Okay,
year 2000 or 1999, something like that.
oh no shit.
Cool.
That'd be a kind of a culture shock coming back.
Oh
there.
yeah, it was.
no, not really.
But like we'd visit during the summers because my grandparents lived out here at the time, and so like so it wasn't completely a culture shock, but it was enough of a change where it was quite.
Were you
surprising.
out there during like what was it like with Israel, like what do they call it, the like 3-day war or whatever like that? That was kind of
6 day?
the 6 day.
No,
6 days like way back.
3 days. I'm
Or
not.
maybe it is a 6 day.
I never actually lived in that area. But I lived in the Emirates, UAE.
UAE. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's where I was born, and then moved
Sweet.
over.
Very
And
cool.
so, when did you try that Pilsner that you were talking about the first time?
We'd vacation in Lebanon too,
Okay.
and that's where I tried it for the first time, and it's always just like, no matter what, it's like my favorite Pilsner ever.
Cool.
Like, just the problem is like you can get it here, but it's just never fresh. It's
Right.
like this, this distributor doesn't really, I don't know. They aren't.
It's halfway around the world.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. When you're shipping like a beer across the world and it's not as popular of a beer, it's
Yeah.
not. It's going to sit in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Or on like a container somewhere. Yeah. So you've been over there since you've been drinking age or whatever?
Yeah.
Is there a beer culture or like drinking culture over there? Because I know like in some countries over there, it's completely
Yeah, it's
banned.
really strict. So like for most of the Gulf states, like the laws are like you can't if you're gonna drink, you have to. It's like a bar has to be like a restaurant and it has to be attached to a hotel. Otherwise, you can't. Bars don't exist
right
in
the-
certain states.
the hotel for like the foreigners.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
thing, right?
Yeah, like that's how it is. Like I think in the Saudi and a lot of the Gulf states, but in Lebanon it's a lot different. It's a little bit freer, and
Okay.
you can just you can find beer everywhere.
Yeah, some guy was telling me that like there's a lot of people who work for airlines that like live in the Middle East because it's like for them it's like go anywhere and
Yeah, I mean, well, like
half of the world.
the UAE like airline is probably one of
Yeah.
the biggest in the world.
They
And
like,
they were
sponsor
saying
everything.
Yeah.
they were saying they actually like applied for a license to drink alcohol, and like
As a person, you have to get a license.
like applied for a license, and basically
hey, I'm Irish.
you had to
and I'm a drunk.
prove you had to prove you're not allowed to get one if you're Muslim.
Oh,
But
okay,
like
yeah.
you had to prove you were like an expat, or you had to and then like or prove you were non-Muslim or whatever, and they'd like give you this card that he was telling me all about it. We had a lot of pilots that used to come into the homebrew store, and they're like, oh yeah, I need some shit to make some hooch, man. I fucking live in Saudi Arabia. I'm like, you're gonna get your fucking hand cut off. They're like, yeah, I'm like sneaking this onto a military base in the Middle East. I'm like, that sounds really dumb, dude. Like, you should try pot or something, honestly. Like,
You'll
Oh, that's
probably get
even
killed-
worse
yeah, you'll
out there.
Get killed over there for that shit. Yeah, other countries don't fuck around with that. Like,
Yeah,
like you go to like bring like weed over to Thailand, like just even a pen or something like that. You're looking
Well,
at, like,
see,
Singapore is
Yeah,
really,
Singapore.
really.
they were killing people in Singapore.
but
That
dude,
fucking guy's
Thailand was like
crazy.
that years ago, and now it's been legal for years there. You can like grow
Really?
you can grow like your own weed in Thailand, and it's like more liberal than any state now.
You can do that in Colorado
Wow.
too.
You can do that in
I didn't know
Illinois,
that.
brah.
Can you?
Grow your own weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can do it anywhere,
5
but are
plants
you
or something.
legally?
You're supposed to have a medical card, but then you're allowed to grow in Illinois. Yes.
Do you have a medical card?
No comment. That's privileged
Bleep it
medical
out.
information.
Edit it out.
Yeah, right.
It's like $300. It's a ripoff.
Forever or for the year?
it lasts like 2 years. You gotta get it. It's like $300 for every 2 years, and then you have to pay your like fake ass doctor $300 too. Doctors like quit real doctoring and like just do weed prescriptions. You know.
Yeah. I'm not even joking, dude. When they legalized that shit in Colorado, like not even like the recreational, but the medical stuff. I just started working at a bar, and the owner had a buddy who was a doctor, and the guy came in, and literally it was $50, and we had like 40 employees. Just here you go, and got the fucking medical.
$50 each employee.
Yeah,
That guy had a
I
good
mean,
day.
He did it in 45 minutes. I actually did not do it, and someone asked me why, and I said,
45 minutes.
I said, well, I was
$2,000?
like, I can't be president yet. I thought I was gonna be president still. Turns out I'm not. Doing a podcast with you guys, which I'm very thankful for.
There's also a federal law that says if you do drugs, you're not allowed to own a gun or something, and like people like lose their like
medical card, I think.
no, you
Or-
lose your FOID
FOID
card,
card,
like
yeah.
in
Yeah, if you get
Illinois,
your
and
medical
like
card,
people get
yeah.
really paranoid about that, you know. But
Guns or weed, you can't have both.
I mean,
Thought this was America.
in real America, you can.
Yeah, in Lake Forest, real America. No. I know what you meant. It's like, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
All right, did we get everyone's favorite beer? We haven't
Oh.
done it yet. No, we just got
Oh
yours.
no,
Yeah, okay.
man, my favorite beer.
Like last beer of your life. You picked the scenario, where you're at, everything. Villa in Italy,
I'm in my shower.
hills
and
in
it's not-
Venezuela. I'm in my shower.
Man, I'll
last
tell
shower
you-
beer of your life.
Yeah.
What's really good is the Firkin always had Bitburger on tap.
That's a good one.
Bitburger
Solid.
Pilsner.
Mhm.
The most memorable beer I've ever had was called SR71. And it's a Toppling Goliath stout.
Yeah, sure.
And it's
Did we have that
filthy
here?
expensive. No, it's like
Oh.
it's been unobtainium for years.
there-
It's like
that's, you know,
the craziest, most
KBBS,
expensive beer I've ever tried.
It's like several hundred on secondary market or something.
It was
Yeah,
like
a bottle of
for
it, like-
one 22-ounce
You-
bottle.
you can't even get it anymore, but they were up to like $2,000 for a 22-ounce bottle.
Yep.
Of this
Yeah,
stuff.
it's ridiculous.
Honestly, if any beer in the world is worth $2,000, I mean, it's
And
the most
none of them
memorable
are.
beer out of thousands and thousands and thousands I've had, and I got a fucking like teaspoon. You know, it was like at a 25-person bottle share. Like
They
I
gave
got,
you
I got a
gave you a
half of an
thimble.
ounce. I got a
There you
half of
go.
an ounce, and it was just the woody and nutty flavor in this barrel aged stout was just so like it was like the best Bourbon County you've ever had on frickin' steroids, and it was like early enough into my craft beer phase where I hadn't like totally lit my taste buds on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was
First time
memorable.
I tried Bo and Luke from Against the Grain,
Yeah.
and I got it from the Beer Bazaar.
Nice.
Yeah, at the old location. I walked
Nice.
in at like it had to be 8:30 at night. I don't know if you guys closed at 9 or 10, but Adam's like, he's like, I was holding this bottle for myself, but I've had this beer before. You should. And I was like, dude, you don't have to fucking like do that, like whatever. He was like, no, just. And so he yeah, I waited. I didn't drink it right away because I'm like, this is fucking cool. It's a cool looking bottle. Everybody says it's so fucking good. Finally, like, and I was trying to find buddies to drink it with. None of my, they're like, oh, that shit tastes like soy sauce. You know, I was like 22 or 23 years old. I didn't have any craft beer friends, but I cracked it open by myself one day, which was probably not smart, but I did it, and it happened, and it was so fucking good, so fucking good.
It's a great beer.
good.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in some time, but I think
Right.
distribution's changed since then.
Sure, you can
Yeah.
still get a couple of their beers, right? Just the cans of Against the Grain, right? But
Yeah, I think they still out like
they have
send
like a
out,
Bo and Luke Day now, though, right? Like you have to go down there, kind of.
Yeah, and they started
But they
doing like
want you
these
to.
different like flavored variants. Like last time I went, they still had the variants left over, and they had like a grape jelly one. It was weird. I still haven't opened it yet, but
That sounds bizarre.
yeah, it's sitting in my cellar right now.
Sounds like that could be fantastic, but that also sounds like
It'd be
just
horrible.
weird. Yeah, right, yeah,
Either way,
right.
I don't know, man. Like I've had a couple like I said earlier, Duchess. Like I fucking love Duchess. Anytime I see Duchess somewhere, I'm ordering one, at least. I used to chug like bombers of that shit. I really like. You ever had Odell Mercenary? their double IPA.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking delicious.
Yep.
I've had Pliny, Blind Pig. Those are always really good.
I've only had Pliny the Elder, right? That's the one
Yeah.
that the green bottle with the red. Yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
I've
The
had
younger
Elder,
is
I've
the
had
kegs
younger.
only, right?
Yeah, it's hard to get. man.
Younger's a draft only beer.
I've waited in lines to get that shit. It's good. It's good. I don't think I'd ever wait in a line like that ever again for a beer.
Well, and you probably knew that at the time too.
I've never had
It's
Heady
one time I'm going to
Topper.
do this. I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Heady Topper's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Heady.
Orange Julius I liked, but after wanting to try that beer for a very, very long time and trying it, I was like,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. But I just bought that on the secondary
if you
market.
had
and
Heady
paid,
Topper for
you
the
know.
first time right now, you'd feel similar.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, Heady Topper also
Well, yeah,
is
Heady-
like the hardcore old New England
Yeah.
style that has
Yeah.
way less body
Yeah.
than the New England style
Right.
nowadays does. So it's like it comes across as like kind of weird and thin
Yeah.
compared to stuff you drink now.
Yeah.
The two.
Focal Banger was always my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
so.
Focal
Never had
Banger was
that.
way crisper. It was
Yeah.
like their other flagship beer.
Yeah.
I used to
I
trade
always
for
like
Trillium.
Sip of Sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
way more than
Awesome.
Yeah, Sip of Sunshine's great.
yeah. Sip of Sunshine's better than
The two best
Heady,
beers
in
though
my
that I've ever
opinion.
had were both just kind of one-offs. One was River North in Denver. They did a saison and aged it in Pinot Grigio barrels, and that shit was fucking amazing.
Interesting.
And then another one is Almanac Brewery. If you guys ever heard of them,
Oh, yeah.
they're out of
Oh,
like
yeah.
San Fran area,
I've not.
and they're farm to barrel brewing, like everything's
Yeah.
from 300 miles or within or whatever, and they do a lot of sours and shit like that. But they had a blueberry sour that they did in a Sauvignon Blanc barrel that we had on tap, and that shit was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Nice.
they have some pretty cool stuff.
If there's one beer though that I could have before, like watching the sunset, last one, they don't make it anymore. It's from Deschutes. It was called like Chainbreaker, and it was their white IPA, and that shit was just like a crushable, heavy hopped wheat,
Yeah.
white IPA that you could just like sit there on the patio and just smash them because it had that hop flavor, a little citrus, not as much as like a New England, but then just went down smooth like a wheat, and like you fucking.
I've got to
murder
start
'em.
bringing cellar beers to this podcast. I've been talking about it. I have like so many years of Deschutes.
Well, this
Black
shit fucking,
Butte
dude,
and
this is
stuff.
fucking delicious. Like your
Dude, that
the
stuff
sour
we
you
made
right
at Brew and Grow like a few years ago. We just like
Yeah.
brewed it
Solid.
and poured dregs from Crooked Stave in it until it was sour. It was, I think this
Shout out
one
Crooked
actually,
Stave. Crooked Stave's got awesome sours.
This actually was made with Kvake yeast and rye
Oh, wow.
and juniper berries.
I
And it
do-
was supposed to be a sati.
I do miss the Deschutes. The Chasing Freshies series was amazing back in the day.
Fresh squeeze.
Yeah, Fresh Squeeze is what got me drinking IPAs. Is when it first released.
It was either like that or Sculpin kind of was like a big one for everybody. That's when I like that.
Yeah.
That's when like the grapefruit
You can go all the way
Sculpin.
up.
Oh my god, that was so
Well, not all
hot.
the way up.
back
What a
then.
crazy story of a brewery.
Well,
Like,
oh, being bought by Kings and Convicts.
Well, so first,
that's so fucking weird.
Well, like AB InBev buys you, and the guy gets like $2 billion, retires, just fucking sails off with $2 billion. Everyone's talking shit about him like he's a sellout. For $2 billion, everyone's gonna sell out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he literally got like $2 billion out that shit. And then 5 years later, Kings and Convicts buys it for what? Like I think it was like $500,000. Like it was something ridiculous, dude. Like
They
$500,000?
just saw that they
was
were
like
never gonna get what they paid for it
$500,000.
and got
dude,
rid
it
of
literally was less
for the
than
whole brand.
for everything,
And all
the
including the tap room
distribution and
downtown and
everything?
shit.
They
Well,
closed
didn't
the
they
tap
close-
room.
they closed that?
COVID
Did
killed
they?
them.
I
Oh,
went there
shit.
once and it was fucking awesome.
But they
It is
got,
nice. There's like
yeah.
a rooftop bar.
That's
Yeah,
where
they
we
got
went,
all
and there's so
that
much,
shit,
so many
dude.
different variants there that, like, yeah, you might find in a store, you
Well,
might
dude, they
not.
used to
but
have like their
Wait,
their
who
head,
is this again?
the Ballast Point
Oh,
tap room in the
Ballast
city.
Point.
the
That's right.
original like Ballast Point in San Diego was fucking ridiculous. I don't know if it's still there or not, but it was like you were on like the cliffs of the ocean watching off this deck, like it was crazy.
I didn't go to that one. I went to the one that was in the industrial park over by Ale Smith and McKellar, San Diego.
Well, you
That
guys
might be the original one, but they had like a tap room out, like.
You guys
food
heard
was
Anchor
fucking good.
Steam is closing.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Anchor Brewing
The
is
Steam
like
lager, that like the original Steam lager.
They're-
Not
Yep.
original, but you
they're
know.
basically like the only brewery more OG than Sierra Nevada. Like
That shit is
it's
delicious
the
too.
Only
Dude. I love that shit. That goes down.
it's
smooth.
good and it's a unique beer. It's a unique to America and unique to San Francisco
Yeah.
beer, and it's been the brewery's been operating on and off in some form for like 100 and something years, and
Oh,
like
jeez.
they
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna see.
they're owned by Sapporo, and they just decided to close. And it sucks because craft beer has become like a chasing the new type of
Yeah.
thing, and like your business model has to be like totally new shit all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say so.
Like 3 new IPAs every week.
Well, I feel like you're
yeah.
gonna lose those in the middle ones. So it's like you either have to have a big like brew pub, tap room to sustain you, like that's like gonna hold you over when times with the distribution get hard, or you have to be a very like almost like a fucking, what do they call them, like a gypsy brewery,
like a nano.
where you're so small and
Yeah.
you're just pumping out shit that people are waiting to get. Like you said, you got to have like the next 4 hazy IPAs or yours or whatever, or like I'm killing it in lagers now. Like those in the middle ones, I feel like are disappearing now. Like I think that bubble finally did pop.
Yeah, I mean, COVID definitely didn't help, and I think Slate just put an article that said that exact thing, and so
See, I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You always look at us like we doubt you, man. But
No, it's usually I doubt myself.
more than anything, like
You're full of shit.
I mean, it's not just gonna all collapse, right? It's just gonna shrink, and like the market's gonna evolve.
change,
Like the breweries that are gonna like evolve with the times are the ones that are gonna stick around, and
Dude.
the ones that get their local support.
Dude,
Yeah.
gluten-free stuff and alcohol-free stuff and cider stuff have
Are
all taken
fine, like,
huge
yes.
bites.
Yeah.
Huge. Like, just think of how many people you knew were gluten-free 15 years ago and how many you know now.
I don't
like,
think I agree with
that's
you.
all lost beer customers.
I don't think.
I
I don't think.
Yeah,
the
they're flying.
non-alcoholic is jumping up. I just think it's diversifying because, like back in the day, what was the one beer that was like non-alcoholic? Was it O'Doul's?
O'Doul's,
O'Doul's.
Right?
Yeah.
Duels rules.
So that was it. Like you had O'Doul's, and that was the only non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
And now you're getting like craft non-alcoholic. So I think that's just diversifying. I don't think it's like actually growing.
Well, there's
Like
fewer and fewer young people, like 21 to 23, are drinking at these festivals where they plan like years past, where that's the average attendee's age, and they're not selling as much beer or
young
anything
people,
as
oh,
they.
Yeah, it's
Young
our
people?
generation going to these fests.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a good time to end this segment, which is segment number 2 of this episode of the 4 Shots podcast. Nader, again, thank you very much for coming out and meeting up with us. We'll be at the beer fest. We might try to work something out where we get a little patio time. Can you get off a Saturday?
Can I?
Yeah.
Quite possibly. I've covered plenty, and now that I have somebody doing the same thing that I'm doing,
Throw that big swinging dick of yours around and get that day off.
Yeah.
We'll do a little patio session out here after the fucking beer fest. It'd be great. We'll be hammered. But all right. End of segment number 2. Time for shot number 3.5. Cheers.
I can't see. Thank you.
You guys have vermouth up in here?
If we do, it's warm and it's been open for.
Get going. All right. This is segment 3 of this episode of the 4 Shots podcast. We are still here at Charlie's Tavern in the heart of downtown Grays Lake, Illinois. Just a hop, skip, and a throw away from the Beer Bazaar, which is owned and operated by our guy here. I've been calling you Nader. Is it Nader?
It's a Nader.
Nader.
Technically.
Nader Kardoush. I got the last name right. Didn't even stumble through that one. Pretty proud of myself. So yeah, let's get back into whatever we were just talking about.
We're just talking about like how sometimes you have to go and pick up kegs from breweries for the Beer Bazaar, which that's so cool that you do. First of all,
Yeah, like one of the big ones is it's a hike. I go all the way down to Mokina, which is like sometimes a 3.5 hour road round trip.
Yeah.
Just to pick up 5 cases and a keg.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
But it brings people in. It's like
Fuck
we're
Mokina.
I was thinking the same thing.
Sounds like Alabama.
it's like right by Tinley Park. It's like
Jesus
legitimately like
Christ,
shit,
a
right
town
by
over.
fucking Tinley Park.
Yeah. So yeah, but they're
That's
yeah,
like
bro,
southwest side, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
it's.
I have
it's
a joke
hike.
that sounds south and west.
Yeah.
Because we're in like the northeast corner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah,
Pretty much
it
everything.
sounds
is
south and
one or
west.
the other, Yeah.
You're either about by that river or that river. One of those two. Yeah, no, like a lot of that's changed like recently too. Like you used to be able to get whatever, and now like people don't want to pay that fucking distribution fee. You know, like they want to get themselves, and if you can't get to them, like if they don't have a van coming up to you, then you got to go down and get that. My buddy, he owns a beer bar out that I used to run out in Colorado, and he same thing. Like 3 times a week, he's going down to Denver to hit all the little breweries so that he can get a 6-barrel of this and a 6-barrel of this. And he fucking had it in the back of his Jeep at one time, and it shattered the back window.
Oh
out of his
God!
shit, dude.
Thankfully, that's never happened to me. But I've definitely lost some cans on the way, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just some hillbilly behind you, just grabbing him off the hop. Just this is the greatest deal.
That's funny.
Oh shit.
So how often do you have to do that? Is it? I mean, it probably varies pretty widely, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's about maybe twice a month I'll do that trip. It used to be way more common because I used to have to actually every Thursday I'd be going down to Hop Butcher to pick up when they were brewing out of Miskatonic. And then that was and then sometimes I'd just like shoot down to Mokina as well, just do it all in one trip because like so it ends up only being like 20 more minutes of a drive.
Right. Sure. Instead of having to do that a whole nother day.
Yeah, exactly. So but like now it's just twice a month.
Cool.
That's cool. When you're like loading up your place, are you looking at trends in the industry? I mean, obviously you probably are as a businessman, but are you kind of like catering towards what you like, what you think the customer's gonna like in the middle there? Like,
I definitely think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have like one beer line that's like, this is what I'm fucking drinking the next 3 weeks, like type thing?
So I try to do a little bit of a balance, right? Like, so I definitely try to get like kegs and beers that no one else will really have, or just like more obscure breweries, kind of just like smaller breweries.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sorry to interrupt you right there.
No worries.
But going off of that, like, are you like your tap lines? Are you looking at that to be like, this is an expensive beer, I can give you a 4-ounce pour of this, and maybe you're gonna buy like a $40 4-pack off me or whatever it might be? Like, are you looking at shit like that?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, like we'll bring in like, and sometimes it'll just be like we'll bring in a rare keg just to have it, like.
Right.
It gets a little buzz going for you.
Exactly. I mean, like for our belated grand opening and 1-year anniversary, like we tapped like, I think it was like 6 kegs that are super rare. And just, it definitely brought some people in. And I continually get people throughout the week who are just like, oh, I couldn't make it to the party, but I want to really want to try this. Like we have a Bottle Logic on, we have a Jay Wakefield, we have, I was able to get a hookup through Standard Mead. They don't distribute to anyone, but they gave me one of their slushy mead kegs. Nice. That was super cool for a grand opening.
That's cool.
So.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Very cool.
Slushy.
Yep.
But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what that was.
Oh, so it's like one of those heavily fruited. So like, there's a lot of different slushies. The base, like, so you can get a slushy seltzer, or like a smoothie seltzer, or a smoothie beer. Like usually, more traditionally, it's like a sour base, and they add a bunch of fruit post fermentation, and then it just like makes it super thick, and they find ways to like make it shelf stable, so it's not blowing up on you, which is a nightmare in itself.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of horror stories and like trading and just stocking these beers where like they just exploded. And
we were just talking about, we tapped, we put on the kettle sour, and it's got like guava and orange and some I think mango in there, and we had to switch up like the fruit, puree or whatever we were using for it, because last year it kept clogging the line, so we did a different one. It's fucking delicious. New patio vibes out on Mickey Finn's.
Sweet.
But we can't can it because of that.
Yeah.
like Jason's worried like we're gonna fucking blow some shit up, and he's like telling me a story. He's like, I had this shit sat in my fridge for about 3 days, and all of a sudden the fucking door flew open. But yeah,
Dude,
that's some pressure, man. That's not just
one of my early homebrews. I got way too ambitious, and I'm like, oh well, I've made like one pale ale, so now I'm gonna make like a 10% alcohol stout with chocolate and blah blah blah. So I like cook up this witch's brew of like all sorts of fucking cinnamon and peppers and chocolate chips, and
sounds amazing.
Yeah, it
sound awesome.
Tasted amazing, but then I bottled it and it fermented in the bottle, and it was senior year of college, and I'm sitting in the watching TV on the Lazy Boy, and I hear psh, and I'm like, I know exactly what it fucking is immediately. And I jump up in my robe and run into my fucking bedroom and
like
grab a
Lazy
case.
Boy in the robe.
Yeah, grab a case and run to the door, and the bottom was already soggy, and it fell, and then they all exploded like grenades.
no.
There was
Oh.
pieces of glass bottle like across the street, and I'm out here like just barely wearing this robe with pieces of
Your
like
chest pubes to your ball throw.
yeah, just covered in glass shards with like sticky goo all over the
Just
place.
shooting fucking black juice everywhere.
Yeah, just oh man, it was like I had to shovel it and hose it.
Oh my god, we're making that into an Instagram reel.
I had to shovel it and
Mark
hose it.
that time.
I have this is a dumb story after that one, but I have a scar on my finger from when
I
used
don't
to-
know if there is a dumb story.
No,
Yeah, it's
I used
not
to-
a good story.
I used to
That was a
trade
great
beer via mail, right? And so the group that I was in did this random like the guy that was running the group assigned you somebody to send a box to, and then somebody else would. It was like a I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but you'd randomly get a box of beer from somewhere that you'd never been, and it was super cool, right? So I'm all excited. It gets there. I get home. I'm in my basement. I cut open the box and I reach in, and one of the bottles had broken.
Ugh.
Big old shard of glass went right there, right into my fucking knuckle, dude. It's a
Ugh.
little scar now, but the whole thing, I could like make it talk. It looked like a smiley face, like.
I've had that happen with me where like I was pulling product that was like re-fermenting off my shelves,
Yeah.
and I was like taking to the back, and then the it was a glass bottle too, explodes right in my hands and like shit, like cuts open my thumb,
Yeah.
like a bleed everywhere. It was just
Yeah.
That's how I became a bar back. Like back in
Yeah.
the day. Did I tell you that story?
Somebody cut their hand on shift, and
So I'm like, we had this position, we called it a picker. You were half like busboy, half security. You just
Yeah.
went around and watched fights and grabbed like glasses and shit. Then we had like the big dudes like at the doors, you know?
right.
And I'm coming off to drop like a bunch of glasses off at the 3-compartment sink, and this kid like is just bleeding everywhere. And they're like, Evan, you need to start washing glasses like Jamie cut himself. I'm like, all right, cool. So then all of a sudden, I grab 2 glasses and I go right into the sink.
Oh
Fucking
yeah,
cut all my fingertips up.
because he broke
And they
them.
they come back
in
out.
there.
They come back out and they go, "Hey, watch out for the glass in the sink." And I'm looking at him like this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh fuck!" So now both of us are just sitting there bleeding. And this is like a Halloween night too, like in a college town.
Oh, that's
God
perfect
damn.
for Halloween. Yeah,
And that's where I
Blood
learned the
everywhere.
trick of super glue and duct tape, man.
Yeah.
You fucking take the super glue and fucking wrap duct tape around it, and you're
That's
fucking
what super
good,
glue was
dude.
invented for, right?
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
It was just during one of the world wars.
Yeah.
But literally, like within 30 seconds, like it was the bar back and then me. Like it was supposed to be the second bar back. Just fucking
Jeez.
bleeding ever so then they had to grab like another guy and I go, tell him about the glasses. Like tell him
Yeah.
about the glasses in the sink.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, pull the water right away anytime something like that happens. Ideally with your non-bleeding hand, or
Dude.
yeah, but
Yeah. But it was like perfect. Like he like shattered 2 glasses like going in on the brushes. So they like shattered
Oh.
and then they dropped in there. So I went with 2 glasses on top of that and just got
Oh,
the jagged
yeah.
parts. I was just like,
Oh,
up like this, and
I
they're like-
hate cutting myself.
and like literally I'm like going up and they're like, watch out for the glasses. And I turn like this, like, what the fuck, man? Looked like fucking Edward Scissorhand for like a week, dude. I
Yeah.
just all of them had to fucking get super glued every night, and then fucking. But it made me a bar back, and then that made me
Yeah.
a bartender eventually.
Nice.
So, and I think that brings us up to my favorite part of this episode, the part we call the 1,
2,
3,
4
questions.
questions. All right, we are sitting here with Nader, Kardoush. Did I say it right?
Yes, yes.
Fucking first time I got the whole thing right. All right. Question number 1. So you're obviously owner operator of a place right now. Like, how many days a week are you working over there? Are you there every day?
For the most part, yeah.
You guys are open every day, yeah.
Yeah. We're open 7 days a week.
What time are you open from? until-
Let's see. So Mondays through Wednesdays we're 11 to 9. Thursdays through Saturdays 11 to 10, and then Sundays we close early at 6, but we open at 11 as well.
How many employees do you have working under you right now?
Right now I have 4.
Okay, so you're obviously going to be there a lot if it's just you and 4 other people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you get a day off?
Yeah, I mean, like, I usually stop in on the weekends and check on things, take care of anything that needs to be done. But I'll usually have like the nights off or the rest of the, weekend off, like Saturday, Sunday.
Very cool. What do you like to do on those days off? Like how's your way to relax or whatever?
Oh man.
Or are you just spending it do you have a family going and everything like that? Do you have to catch up on that type of stuff?
Oh no kids. Not yet. Man, that's a good question. What do I do with my life?
Well, not like that.
That was the deepest response we've got.
Right.
man.
We're not talking about productivity.
Oh,
We're
shit,
talking
I
about
didn't
when you
mean
get a
to
chance
crush
to
you.
be away from thinking about the business. Like, what do you watch
Usually
Netflix?
it's like,
do you
golf?
Yeah. Yeah, I like to watch my shows,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I've been trying to, work out more too, so when I do have free time, go to the gym. I've been wanting to get back more into tennis. I used to be on the team in high school, so.
Cool.
Nice. I fucking love tennis.
Yeah.
I also highly suggest pickleball. Very cool.
I love all the pickleball memes that keep coming out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, go play pickleball. It's fucking awesome.
There's a pickleball team that comes in here. So my team, it's like 15 guys that are in a golf league during the summer, and then they need something to do during the winter.
Dude.
They're called the Stiff Shafts. Ha ha ha.
That's a great name.
But yeah, they're all like 50,
I
60
highly
plus.
suggest that though, because I used to play like tennis and pickleball. This shit.
Yeah.
They ever come in here with their paddles and stuff?
No. They just come in here to drink. They leave all their shit.
No.
Yeah. But I mean, it seems like fun. I don't know.
That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna follow like the Two Bears motto, and we're gonna start 4 shots athletics.
Yeah.
Whistler, you think you down for that?
I could fucking use that for sure.
You're gonna be on instead of like a bowling league, which we should do. Like how our logo on a bowling shirt would look tight,
It would.
but
It would definitely look
We'll
tight
do-
on me. But
we'll do pickleball instead.
yeah. Okay.
Everybody in?
Sure.
Want to join our pickleball team?
I'll give it a shot.
All right.
All right. We need you to sign something that.
What's pickleball? It's like
It's like
It's like ping pong and tennis.
It's like tennis for
less
30-year-olds
lateral
who
movement
lost their
and
knees.
more just.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
we'll see.
Let's start with a foosball team and we'll work our way up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2. Do you live around like where you're working right now? Are you a Grays Lake local or?
Yeah. I live pretty much across the street from the Batera.
Okay. So are you driving home, walking home?
We'll see how the day goes.
Yeah.
But more than likely, yeah.
But
I'll be fine.
like when you're leaving work, do you feel like you either have to like have something blasting, or are you trying to like listen to like silence and regroup your thoughts?
I listen to music.
Yeah.
I like to put on my Spotify channels.
Cool. Now, are you like blasting music or just like
Just a comfortable level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about where I'm at now too. I used to blast punk music driving home, and now I'm just like, I don't know. Man.
No, I don't want to lose any more of my hearing. So
That's fair.
All right.
You don't think about that in this industry, but it's a real thing.
Oh, I got the
Yeah.
tinnitus.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
7 years of fucking having
In a loud room where there's nowhere for the sound to go.
cover
even
bands
that-
every
that
Friday,
hum,
Saturday
that-
night.
Comfortable level, you're like, you're
Start
able to
doing
talk
this.
still,
You're like,
but yeah,
do I got
but it
water in my
still
ear?
adds up, you know. Yeah.
How's your hearing over there?
Good.
huh? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was hoping he would say that.
Huh?
Oh shit! All right, we're gonna pop in like 2 random questions. I think we might change this to 6 questions, honestly, because
Sure.
I like these 2 questions. John Taffer, what do you think about him?
The-
Love him, hate him? Do you
The
know
bar
John
rescue
Taffer?
guy.
Huh?
Bar rescue, that guy.
Oh, not familiar enough. I've seen a couple episodes ages
That's fair.
ago, but like,
That's fair.
Yeah,
Don't run home and watch him. We all fucking hate the guy.
Okay.
All right.
Unless you need like just a session to punch your pillow for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the guy that like does like he sets up like the secret cameras
Yeah.
to watch like staff to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a couple episodes ages ago, but I mean, never really stuck.
What doesn't make sense to me is that, like you said, he has those secret cameras set up, but the owners of the establishment are often who he's catching, right? Doing whatever, drinking when they, drinking for free. So they had to know those cameras were put in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to sign something, right?
Right.
You
So
don't yell at the owner, dude.
it's all fucking fake. Yeah, well, he does most of the time. It's always
Like what?
Yeah, the bars.
It's like the psychological aspect when
Yeah.
he comes in. He's like, I'm also a therapist, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix your family real quick.
Yeah,
that's
it's a lot.
That's the greatest part about it.
He's such a douche.
It's like you and your brother don't get along since you were 13, and now your mom's got to retire.
That's a solid impression, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I think about it? It stinks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he goes into failing bars and helps them fail more expensively.
Dude, have you ever seen the episode of, like, this is kind of stupid because we've only been doing this for 2 episodes now, but like the episode where it's like the 2 twin brothers that own like a pizza place in like Boston or something, they're just like 2 big fat twin brothers. Like, I literally cried.
2 big fat twin brothers, man.
I literally
Band name.
cried in that episode.
Like you were moved to tears or from like laughing?
No, I was like
Emotional?
Actually, you know what? I don't think that was John Tafford. I think it was Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
I have
there.
some respect for that show, even though it's very similar in premise, but I don't think a guy who doesn't know anything about, like, Gordon Ramsay knows how to cook, right? John Taffer doesn't know how to make a fucking Manhattan, and he's proven that. So we're trying to get sued by John Taffer really hard, or I am at least.
Hey, any publicity is free.
Allegedly.
No such thing as bad publicity.
Jay,
No, that's
allegedly, he
that's-
doesn't know
Yeah,
how to.
allegedly, yeah.
Dude, if fucking John Tafford could sue us, that would
Be great.
probably boost our ratings a little bit. I'm not gonna
You guys can put it all on me and then find a third host and keep going.
Oh, shit.
Just send me books in jail. I'll be good.
I like that. All right. Let's go to our other secondary question. What's like the best advice you've ever gotten while being in the business right now? Or what's the best advice you give to someone who's getting into the business? Whether it be like the retail side, the beer side, anything like that.
I would say listen to your customers. Honestly, like
great.
that is one of the things I've been trying more and more to do, and that's one of the things we've always kind of like done is just like we've always had like request lists. We've always tried our best to bring in what like put in the time, research like beers that people want, bring them in, even if it's non-beers. Like we we will reach out to customers and bring
Sure.
those in.
Yeah.
And I think that's and like you gotta, because they're the ones giving you your money. They're the ones keeping the lights on.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably the best advice I could give.
Do you ever find like that you come into conflict with people like when they're like, why don't you have this fucking rare beer that no one can fucking get? Like
I mean, you just gotta navigate around it. But definitely, I mean, that was like a frustration. Like it's how the distribution is set up. It's like I know early on when we were still establishing ourselves, like, and it's not so much a problem now because the market has changed so much. Where like we're getting like just the rarest beers that you could ever find, like, are just sitting on shelves. Like it's insane. It's like what we can get through. Like we have some of the best breweries in the country in Illinois, and we also have like the best distribution because we get some of the best of East and West Coast.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
Yeah, like yeah. So that blows my mind. Sorry, what was?
I was just saying, like, do you ever get like slack from like if you can't get something like?
Oh yeah. I mean, I explained
because for the most part, you're obviously listening to your customer, got a good relationship with them. Do you ever get that guy that just comes in here like, I saw this over at this place and they couldn't get, or like even with the whiskey or something like that,
Yeah, like I
"Wait,
mean,
what do you mean you don't have fucking Fireball?
I was on vacation in Alaska and there was this eight
Do you sell
seat
Fireball?
brewery.
Yes.
And why can't you get that beer here?
and they have a 1-barrel brewing system.
Yeah, right. You're like, because
Yeah.
they can't
Everything
get
else-
that beer here, and I can't go get that beer and bring it here. And if you could have, you would have done that when you were there if you liked it so much.
Yeah, why
So-
didn't you think of that?
And then like I get all the time like the people who are asking about like this obscure beer they had on vacation. Usually it's like a obscure national beer, and half the time it doesn't. Yeah, like a lot of the times it's just like
people asking for Yingling. Like, you don't have Yingling?
yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's just like a lot of time it's just like explaining them. You're like, sorry, they just don't distribute in Illinois.
Right. And then you ask, how'd you find out about that beer? Because you tried something new? Well, look at what I got here, right fucking behind me. Is a lot of things that are going to be new to you. Try one of those.
Yeah, it's I mean that is a legit frustration where it's just like when you have like 700 beers worth of choices, or like even more, and someone is just
Walks in and
married to this one beer.
Do you get like people that like walk in, look around, and like walk out, and you're like, "Are you serious?" Like,
What did
all
you
the time.
want? Really?
All the time.
Maybe just people checking it out too. I don't know.
I mean, like ever since we moved in, it definitely is more of just like they want to see what the store is and like what the big deal is, and so I accept that's totally cool, yeah. And then more than likely if they like what they see, they'll come back.
Right.
So it's not always a negative. So
or even like a word of mouth, like if it is just someone in the afternoon like walking through and being like, "Oh, look at this."
I'm going to tell my son about this.
Yeah, we'll come back later.
Yeah,
I was looking for somewhere to bring my buddies. They all like,
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's good to know that everybody hates some customers.
Yeah, but one of the big frustrations, to answer that question as well, was like early on, they're like all the distributors, all like the major ones, and even some of the bigger breweries would like, allocate based on purely sales, and that was just such a frustration because like being a smaller shop, I'm not going to be able to compete with like a big box retailer, right? Like I'm not going to be able to sell like a stack of their beer in 1 week. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
And so like a lot of times they did like, and I think this was a little bit of fault on their end. It's just like they allocated based on volume rather than like what kind of store it is. Like, you step in my store, look around, like. I should be carrying this beer you make that's like kind of limited,
Right.
Yeah. We can't get Buffalo Trace.
That's crazy. I used to be able
because fucking Walmart and all these people just fucking buy pallets of it.
Pallets of Fireball, so they boost their Sazerac numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
So that they can get Pappy.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew
that's a Cherry McGillicuddy too.
Yeah.
That's one of the.
That's why
What a ridiculous thing to have to buy to sell something else.
The place I'm going to play beach volleyball at right after we do this has $3 cherry bombs because those points go to their steakhouse where they sell Pappy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't hate on them, but it's just like at the same time,
it's weird that it's come to this.
I can't get like a case of fucking Buffalo Trace. Like, what the fuck?
Don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
Yeah.
But it's a
Buffalo
weird
Trace
game.
Went from always on the shelf to never on the shelf.
And not only
It
that,
was like 2 years.
The worst part about that is when someone's like, "What do you mean you don't have Buffalo Trace? I can get this at Walmart." And I'm like,
we used to have fucking Eagle Rare on the bar here.
We used to get cases of Blanton's. Cases.
Yeah.
It was like no big deal. No one gave a shit.
No one knew.
And they're like, I think it's just.
Put it in one TV show, one article, and all of a sudden just.
What I want to know is like how many people are going to be asking for Pappy after they saw it on like Secret Invasion on like the Marvel show.
Yeah.
Because there's like a scene where Nick Fury is drinking Pappy Van Winkle.
Well, the only reason it blew up was when that truck got hijacked. And then they made that Netflix like thing about it. Like,
wait, what?
So
was it a truck or wasn't it a guy working in the warehouse who somehow
that's what they blame it on.
Tipped off.
So what happened was, this is like 10, 15 years ago, something like that. And a truck gets hijacked of Pappy.
Oh, wow.
And it like doubled the price. And it made all these news articles and shit like that. And so then
I had no idea.
5 years ago, something like that, Netflix makes a documentary and it's called like Thieves or something like that. It's actually really good. Every episode is fucking
there's several episodes about people stealing
all sorts
large
of cool
quantities
shit.
of things that you wouldn't think of.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. Actually, you should like. Was it Thieves?
I
What
can't
the fuck
remember
was
what
it?
it's
The
called.
Heist or something like that. I think it's
something
called
like
Heist.
that.
Okay.
Ooh.
And it's like 6 episodes.
It's fine.
Fucking awesome. And one of them is about these guys that worked at Wild Turkey or something like that. And they were like stealing barrels, and they had a softball team. So it was like the softball team of fucking like distillery workers who are stealing barrels of Eagle Rare, shit like that. And like the one dude ends up getting blamed for the Pappy thing. Like they tied that into his plea deal, and he's like, "I didn't steal that shit," but somehow it ended up in his deal. And like,
yeah, wasn't he just like driving a forkllift in the warehouse, and somehow he got pinned for stealing several $100,000 worth of whiskey?
Well, he's like, I stole, like he copped out. He's like, I stole a ton of barrels, like, but like he's like, I didn't hijack a fucking truck. And they were just like, well, we'll just tie it into your plea deal, and you get 2 years of like supervision or whatever. And he's like, all right, cool. Like,
yeah.
So he like pled guilty.
One of them had a fire too, right? One of the big distilleries. Yeah. That was another thing that like created scarcity as the craft beer market was shifting to a lot of craft beer drinkers now drink bourbon too.
Yeah.
So it shifted into a lot of the secondary market, like dick swinging, expensive beer stuff. Well, a beer can only get so expensive, but these guys who have fucking $800 bottles of whiskey, that's I think that's part of it too, a weird small part, but there's a lot shifting around.
I think small part.
I think the funniest thing I've ever heard from a customer is like, I had a customer come in one time and he was talking about how like he stopped drinking beer because of all the hype and like how hard it was to get bottles. And then he's like, no, yeah, now I drink bourbon. I'm like, it's not much better.
Yeah.
You fool.
Drink gin or tequila and rum could be the next bubble, but they're already kind of happening.
Yeah, it's slowly.
I'm going the opposite way. Today I am drinking a Hams, which I had when
Is
we
the
were up
beer
in Racine.
refreshing?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago when we were in Racine. It's the first time I had a Hams in fucking like 15 years, and I'm just like, this shit's delicious. Hams. We're going.
Still an old style man for grandpa beers.
I'll do old style.
Mine's Montucky.
Give me an Olympia.
Ooh,
I'll
that's a
drink
good one.
Olympia. That's a fucking bomber. But yeah, I'm going
Stroh's.
Stroh's, fucking Schlitz. Give me a Schlitz all day.
Okay.
We're going opposite. I'm gonna be a fucking connoisseur on the $2 beers.
Well, a lot of people are doing that now. That's why Hams is selling so well, and you're seeing it more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hence the fact I'm drinking it now. All right, so let's go on to question number 3 of what would have been the 4 questions instead of the 6
You
questions.
just say the next question.
Yeah, the next question. There you go.
A never-ending list of questions. I'm just gonna keep going.
But this is the 5th, and it's 3. Are we going backwards?
Jay, I've been drinking a little bit.
I'm just fucking with you. It's
Okay,
fine.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
But give me the thing you love about this business the most and the thing you love the least about this business. Hate the most.
I think I already touched up on what I like least, like just all that, like I saw the hype, you know, like no matter what you drink, there's always going to be something that's going to be equivalent or by a brewery that doesn't have that kind of hype or attention or presence, you know. So that's why I'd say I like what I like least, but what I like most, I think people. I mean, I met some really great people over the years, and yeah, that's.
Yeah. With
and I like what I'm doing. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you get paid to drink beer sometimes. Like I'll go to breweries to do research, find out about them, try their beers, you know, like, and then like, oh, hey, I'll make connections, and then next thing you know, a week later, I'm carrying their beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
you
cool.
definitely have to have a ton of relationships with all the different breweries and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Definitely.
That's always cool. Going back to like the hype, like, you know, we've talked about this before, like where you see that stout hype, and then all of a sudden it's the hazy IPAs and or like the sours before that and shit like that. Now it's the lagers and the pilsners, the next hype. What do you see coming next? Like what's the next thing you like as a retail guy?
I mean, I don't know. That's a really good question. Like,
It's hard to forecast.
Yeah, it's hard to forecast. I mean, like with some of the other trends, you could kind of see them building because they were kind of more regional. Like hazy IPAs were known on the East Coast for the longest time, but it's just a matter of breweries out here started doing them, and homebrewers really started too. So that's how it gained popularity out here. Aside from the trade, like trading on secondary.
How do you like judge that then? Like by changing like what you're offering, like do you just kind of listen to what people are asking for, and if you don't have it, then you start looking for that type of thing? Or
I think so. Yeah, I think that covers it.
yeah.
But I think I know like this was covered in previous episodes too. Like, but yeah, I think there's also like a cyclical thing going on. Like we're definitely like reverting. There's like a reverting to like cleaner beers right now. You know,
All the kids are wearing Jankos and shit like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely feels like the 90s coming back.
Oh man.
We should make like a microbrew version of fucking like Ice House.
Oh god.
Like a fucking like 6.1 like crushable lager.
I haven't drank Ice House since I was in my mom's basement.
Or Natty Ice, dude. Like do a fucking craft version of that. Where we suggest you serve it in a frosted pint.
Oh god.
Nice.
Just to piss everyone off. And then also be like, if you want to carry it.
Here's
You
the
got-
beer
you
we
got-
worked hard
yeah.
on. Water it
Here's our-
down.
Here's our cooler. Like,
Yeah.
then we'll give them one of those fucking Red Bull or Jaeger coolers behind their bar that you have to put our pint glasses in and frost them. Dude, we're fucking coming up with a business plan today.
Yeah.
Someone write all this down. Anyone remember this?
Yep, steel trap.
All right. Luckily, we're recording it.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, we got one more.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is question number 4, which is my favorite question. What is the best advice you have to our listener, anybody that's hearing this, to be a better customer, either at like a retail spot, a bar, restaurant, anything like that?
I would say support local, and be
Amen.
open. I think, yeah, like try things. Like I feel like that aspect of like craft beer is a little bit of dying. It's just like there's no more that like I don't see that like there's few customers that do it, but like there's like it's getting fewer and fewer where like they're just willing to try anything. Like,
Right.
and
They
like
have their one style and that's it.
yeah, like exactly, like try different things. And go to shops like mine. Like it doesn't have to be mine, but like mine where you can literally just buy one can and try it, and then you're not stuck with like the rest of the 6-pack if you don't like it. But
Yeah.
at least you kind of build your.
I
palate.
love that you do it like that because like that's a great concept to be able to build your own 6-pack, 4-pack, or whatever it is, and just kind of.
Yeah, honestly, that's how I kind of built my palate when it was like shopping at Art of Beer. Like, that's how I learned about beers. That and like going to Firkin and trying different things they had on tap.
Right, and not all build your own 6-pack sections are the same. Like your place is cool, and some places it's like supermarkets that have that. It's like, well, that beer got forgotten about in the back for 6 months and should be gone. But now they broke it up and now it can build. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And then
I
so
feel
it's like, oh, hey, this is either out of code or it's a 6-pack that broke a bottle. So we'll put the rest of them in the build your own section.
Right, and you got to be careful of that. I mean, when you're trying new stuff, but if you go to, like you said, a local place that gives a shit, you're not going to run into that.
Yeah.
It's somebody, knowledgeable staff and people who actually want you to try 6 different beers rather than want to dump 6 beers on you to get them out of their store. You know what I mean? It's a completely different experience,
Yeah.
That's very cool. Keep it local.
Absolutely.
All right, that ends this segment of the 1,
2,
3,
4
4
questions. Which brings us to the wrapping up part here. Nader, what's the craziest thing that you've experienced, seen, been subjugated to, forced to witness in this industry?
1,000-yard stare right now.
He's looking at you like he's gonna kill you.
Yeah, either he's got 15 things or he's got one and he doesn't want to talk about it just yet.
I mean, like, how crazy are we talking?
The craziest. Like give us the fucking nuts.
What's one
like,
that still sticks with you?
Give us your top 3.
Something
We have
weird.
time, let's go.
Yeah.
any pants shitting?
You in the pants
give
shitting.
us-
We're trying to get
Give us-
sponsored by an
give us
adult diaper
grossest.
company.
Give us grossest, funniest, most dangerous.
Okay. It's the grossest.
It's either good or bad that you don't have one that pops right to your head. Because either there's
mean,
so many,
Because I
and
know
that's
like
bad.
it's different because it's like I'm coming from more of like a shop and like a
Sure.
Yeah, but it's part of the. It's still
Yeah,
part.
it's
That's
part of
why
the
we're-
industry,
That's
but,
why you're here.
like but yeah, I mean, I don't think I see as many of the like nightmares like more like bartenders usually deal with because I feel like I also get a little bit different of a crowd. I don't know.
Yeah.
But grossest, I don't know.
Are you saying your customers don't shit their pants?
No, they don't. I cut them off before they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes that's not the issue. Yeah. It's nose beers in the alley, and then they come in and they shit themselves in a urinal. Or not themselves, yeah. That's, yeah. But sorry. I'm just
Where
preparing
it's
yourself.
off,
Preparing you for that, yeah.
So,
Yeah. What
I
about
mean-
just like
I mean, okay, how about this? Like, the porta potties at beer fests?
there you go.
Pretty freaking gross.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you always got to take some Imodium or Pepto before the beer fest so you never have to use them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Block yourself up.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
That's like Country Thunder going on right now, and I was just call it the Hillbilly Fest in fucking shit mud. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, ugh,
So gross, man.
ugh.
I lived in Twin Lakes for a summer while that was happening.
It just smell
And
like
just-
fucking urine and shit.
Well, Twin Lakes is a huge area like I lived in the town, and that's like in some field outside of the town.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really a metropolis now. No, it's
It's
yeah,
the Riviera of
yeah.
southern Wisconsin.
yeah. No, it's just I didn't have to deal with any of that because I knew it was happening, and I just stayed away from that. Because oh my god, fuck.
All right. Well, what? Just give us the craziest shit you've ever experienced.
Crazy.
You ever had like a homeless guy come in and hit you with a bag of fucking like sour apple juice or something like that?
Oh, back in the old location.
That did happen. Yeah, no.
We had this homeless guy come in all the time. Or I think he did have a home or something, but he experienced this major tragedy in his life, and he kind of messed him up. So like,
Yeah.
but yeah, in the Haynesville location, he would just like walk around, and then he would like just look at all the different beers, and then just like you'd try to talk to him, and he wouldn't really say anything. He'd just like jarble random words out, and he just like it was like speaking a different language. It was so bizarre. And then like and then he would just like do like a couple laps around the store, and then just walk out. And then people would see him like on the road, just like flicking rocks at cars and stuff. It was just someone was supposed to be watching him, but like there's several times.
Was
where,
it
like,
Scoops, the guy that stands by the road and goes?
Scoops? I don't
It's
know.
It's a Round Lake guy. Yeah, Scoops. Well, everybody calls him Scoops because that's what he does.
Just pantomimes the scooping motion.
Yeah, that's what he does, and he yells at cars. Like as you drive by, he'll like try to make eye contact with you and yell,
Jay,
but
I
then
don't
he
know if you
snaps
remember
back.
this, but no one could see it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. One
Yeah,
of
that's true.
one of my previous employees used to call him the mayor.
Okay.
But I don't know what he went by otherwise, but yeah, he was usually in the Haynesville area, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen him forever.
Hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
Good old Scoops.
But have you ever had to like, especially
Was
the
he
new,
an older gentleman, like whiter hair?
yeah,
Kind of like a
little
Popeye look?
little sturdier, not like thin, but a little. There could be 150 guys that match that description within 30 miles of here.
That's
unfortunately, yeah. But have you ever had to like at the new location with like the bar being open? Have you ever had to like call the cops or had any fights or anything like that?
No, I mean
Yeah.
the worst it got was there was one time where there was like two different friend groups that weren't in like they were kind of arguing, and then one of my bartenders had to kick one group out and was like, "Hey,
The
you're welcome
jocks
to
and
come-"
the socias or whatever, or from Outsiders.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great
It's
movie.
two different. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not familiar with that reference.
Sorry.
It's all good.
You've never
But yeah,
seen
that's-
Outsiders.
Outsiders.
It's okay. Yeah, it's
I
good.
mean,
Yeah.
just list them off: Patrick Swayze,
Yeah, he was in it.
Charlie Sheen,
He's also in it.
Emilio Estevez,
Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon, Ralph Macchio. Are we missing one?
Outsiders.
Well, we're definitely hijacking the story.
Sorry,
I'm sorry
yeah.
for the reference.
No,
But,
it's all good.
yeah. So there's two different friend groups there, kind of like not really getting along. But
Yeah,
like,
they had like some beef or history, and so just my bartender had to kick one group out and was like, "Hey, sorry, they were here first, and like you're more than welcome to come back. Just like we can't have you arguing and fighting
Right.
in the tap room.
Right.
That's it. I mean, that's the worst it's gotten. I think.
what's the age group here?
Dude, you're so fucking lucky.
20s?
Yeah, I know. Like I really am. Like I really don't get that bad of experiences. Like tell you, like I don't know if like clientele is different. I don't know. Yeah, but 30s probably. I'd say.
Yeah, it helps that
40s.
they're not drinking there, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they are, but
Right.
you
Well,
know,
people that are
not like shit.
unable to.
not Jaeger bombs.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, do you have a public bathroom in there?
Yeah, we have two.
Have you ever had anyone just come in and drop the fucking shit all over the walls?
Oh, thank God, no. Thank God.
You'll
Must
get there.
just Be me.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll happen.
The
It's your own employees.
cleaning. Oh god. Yeah, cleaning barf out of a urinal was one of my reverse bucket listers. One of those things that you wish you'd never had to do, but now I did it, and I might have to do it again. It's not like it's done.
Yeah, I'm
but
totally going in there and puking in your urinal.
I have a
Gonna
method
fucking-
now.
I
I told you. I told you my method. If anybody wants
Me
to know.
too, but I'll chew really well.
yeah,
I had a
That's
buddy.
fine then. Yeah.
I had a buddy who had to who used to work at a Binny's, and he had to clean a shit out of a urinal. Like someone took a
A
shit
straight
in
up
the
turd.
urinal.
Yeah.
This guy.
No, I wasn't there for the cocaine shit urinal incident. I was in Door County, and I got a text message. I was eating dinner, and AJ, who used to manage down there, sends a text to the group chat and it's like, where are extra urinal pads or like urinal cakes? And like ask the question. I'm like, it's fucking dinner service on a Friday. Why are we worried about that? And she's like, well, I didn't want to bother any of you guys, but somebody shit in the urinal. And I'm like, okay. Like the guy gets ran in, the stalls were occupied, stall was occupied, banged on the door, and then the guy who was in there came out and like told us, like, he's like, yeah, and I knew what he was doing and I couldn't be any faster myself. Yeah. Big old cocaine shit, which is really just a lot of little shits. Kind of
Raisinets.
Yeah. Just
Hey, cousin Brendan, we were thinking after the beer fest, the Grays Lake Beer Fest, we're gonna do a little episode on the patio, all hammered.
well, Mike also said he'd reserve us a table at the. Oh no, that's a different thing.
Different one, yeah.
And bringing this equipment out there is risky, but we could do something on our phones and just like do a live chat, like live stream something. Yeah, whatever.
We're gonna do it at the garage.
Well, I hope we see the Blueberry Man.
Yeah.
The Blueberry Man. Who's the
Blueberry Man's my favorite. He always goes to the beer fest and makes an ass out of himself afterwards. And he always wears a blue shirt. I dealt with him at Center Cut, and then last year at Light the Lamp, he came in and started yelling at one of my barbacks, like before we'd even served him anything. It was just being a dick. He was hammered. And so I walked up and I told him, I was like, hey, just based on how this has gone so far, if you're willing to go to a table and you don't have to be with him, I'll give you some food and some water, but I'm not going to give you anything to drink. Which was probably more than he deserved at that point.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he mentioned the owner at the time's name. And I was like, he's not here today. I'm kind of handling things. And he's like, well, where is he? And I was like, I don't know where he is, but he's not here. And he's not going to be here. So he just kind of like freaks out. And he gets up and he goes, fuck you, you piece of shit. And I was like, I might have felt bad about it if he'd gotten up and gone quietly. And I've been like, man, maybe I was too. But after that, no.
Yeah, definitely not.
And then he screamed like 15 times on his way out, fuck yourself in the ass. Fuck yourself in the ass. You fuck yourself in your ass. Like he was trying to be as specific as he could. And I was like, I got it the first time.
Your ass.
I knew what you wanted me to do. And I'm not going to do that. But yeah, you fuck yourself in the ass.
You didn't take his advice? Like, you know, like
I thought about it, but the logistics don't work for me, man. At the point where I'm able, let's not. Yeah. Then it goes out, and then I can't bend it, you know?
it's all geometry. We'll figure it out.
Right. No, he's a douchebag, though. I wish I knew his actual name, and I'll figure it out one of these days. Like, he'll come in and not remember that happened,
We'll
and
just refer to him as the
I'll get his name
Blueberry
off his
guy.
credit card or something. That's illegal. I won't do that.
And I think that might be where we end this episode. One more time, dude. Give a shout out to your. We didn't even talk about you're on the Beer Gods of Lake County, right?
Yeah.
It's a cool page, man.
Yeah. Shout out all your social stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, and join it if you want. A group I started ages ago, just a group of friends, but now I'm kind of trying to push it to support Lake County breweries, like advertise about events going on.
And it's called Beer Gods of Lake County.
Correct. Yeah.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
Are you on the Instagrams?
We're not on Instagram, just on Facebook.
All right, hit that up. Beer Bazaar, downtown Grays Lake. Hit up Omar over at Oak Trail Tap House. Sorry, dude, we're closed.
Yeah, let's
And
finish up.
thank you to everybody that's been listening to our episodes. We are actually getting close to 100 subscribers on YouTube, which does not seem like a lot to some people, but to us, that means we have a couple friends.
Yeah.
So we appreciate
It's like
that.
2 school buses, bro.
See, dude, we have a
Hopefully
crew.
not.
Fucking squad.
Hopefully it's
Yeah.
adults.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah, but we'll take what we can get. No.
But no, yeah, and everybody that comes up to us and says they like it and everything like that, I truly
cool.
appreciate it. I had a couple people this weekend come up and like,
We know you're full of shit, but keep it up.
yeah, that's what I do. But please, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, like, subscribe, comment, rate, all that cool shit and everything like that.
Are you on TripAdvisor?
No.
I was like, yeah, we'll hear you out, man. Yeah, sure.
Are we supposed to?
Yeah.
Keep your eyes out. 4 Shots Podcast shot glasses coming to Charlie's Tavern pretty soon. And
Maybe a barrel pick?
Yeah.
barrel pick.
Yeah.
We're getting that. fucking suction cup beer holders for the fucking shower. We're definitely
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely coming. That might
Yeah.
be before koozies.
Shower beers.
Shower beers.
So tasty.
Dude, barrel pick for sure. We should do that.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Watch out. We're taking over the game.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Gents.
for listening. Hit us up at 4shotspodcast@gmail.com. That's number 4, SHOTS podcast@gmail.com. If you have the story that everyone wants to hear, that you feel like everyone needs to hear. And again, thank you very much for listening. This has been another episode of the 1,
2, 3, 4 Shots Podcast.
And we are almost all done. This stuff's good. It's delicious.
It's dangerous.
I'm still on my phone. Ooh, you literally get like it's like a title. It goes down smooth, then all of a sudden it's like pepper burn.
Pepper, baking spice.
Yeah, like it. You guys have a phone charger here?
What kind?
Android?
Yes, there should be one in the corner right there. And you could actually get to the outlet too. The other one we have behind because